ConnectLCF allows you to apply for a permit or a planning case completely online from start to finish. To do this, you need to have a ConnectLCF account, so please look at the guides on how to register and log in. Once you've logged in, you can go ahead and proceed with applying for a permit or a plan. The process is the same for both records, either a permit or a plan. It's just the information differs as to what information the city will need. It is important to note that prior to applying, please look at the review required submittals page to know what specific documents you will need to upload as part of your process when you're going through the application process. Here you can see their building and safety permits. You can jump to planning cases. Here, based on the type of application you're requesting, it will tell you what you need. Some of these files are links. So for example, a site plan, you can actually see what type of requirements the city has for its site plans. So please make sure you review those in detail so that your plan check can be done in a timely manner. Because if we don't receive the information we need, that's just more resubmittals that you need to go through. So once you've reviewed that and you're ready to apply, you can go ahead and select the apply button. And again, you have to be logged in into ConnectLCF to do this. So I'm logged in. So I can actually take a look at the applications, either trending. This is usually what most people are applying on the city side. But also, if I personally have applied for specific permits on a regular basis, it will show up under my history, so I can actually use that. Or I can jump specifically to a permit or a plan, however I want. Finally, you can always search by using the search bar on top. So for this exercise, we're going to just go ahead and select permits, and we want to look at residential. So as you can see, these are all non-residentials. I can actually filter that down further by clicking on show category and only look at building permits that are residential. Here, I want to go ahead and look at a deck permit. I want to go ahead and apply for a deck permit. So here it is, residential. I can go ahead and click on apply. Here, I'm going to add the location where this permit is going to be for. It is important to note that there are specific instructions on how to search or by an address or a parcel. When you're searching by an address, please don't put street, avenue, boulevard. The less you put, the better. It is also important to note we get this information from the county assessor, so sometimes there may be record errors. No worries, because on the previous page, it says that if an address cannot be found after you follow these protocols, go ahead and use the help ConnectLCF to notify us, and we will help you with that process. So the first process is adding a location. So go ahead and click on add location. Here you can search by an address by using the search bar, or if you want to search by a parcel, go ahead and select parcel and type in the parcel number here to search. I'm going to go ahead and search by an address. So I'm going to type in the address number, and then again, less is more. So I just typed in 1327 FOOT. This is Foothill, but I realized this is not the one. This is not the address I wanted, but I know it's 1327. I just type in 1327 without any street address, a name, and you can see that any address associated with 1327 will come up. For this example, we're going to use 1327 Journey's End. So this is the address that I want to add. I can go ahead and click on add button, and it will add the location plus any parcel information that comes with it. That is the location I want. I can proceed with the next step. Next is providing contact information. It will automatically default me as the applicant, but I can also add other individuals such as applicants, architect, contractors, developers, owners to this record. It is important to know the user has to have a ConnectLCF login in order for you to be able to connect them to this record. This is where the favorite button is a very useful tool. Please refer to the guide regarding favorite buttons to know this. But if I wanted to say and add an architect to this, I can select the architect, click add. Now it will allow me to search the ConnectLCF database for that set architect. If I had the architect under my favorites, it would actually be here. I would be able to very quickly add them in. If not, I can just go ahead and search for that individual. I can go ahead and search it, and let's just say this is the individual that I want to add. So I can go ahead and click on add. Now this individual is listed as an architect. If I made a mistake and I want to remove them, not a problem. We can go ahead and remove them by clicking that remove button. But for now, we will leave it. You can add as many contacts as you want. There's no limitation. So once you're finished with the contacts, go ahead and click on next. Here is the general information that the city is going to need as far as your permit is concerned. It's important to note, read the instructions carefully, and also please make sure to read all the acknowledgments associated with the cases, because those are very important for you. Finally, one other thing I want to point out, that if at any given time you need to save and resume this application later because something else has come up, not a problem. Just scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on Save Draft, and what this will do is save the application wherever you're at, and you can resume by logging back into ConnectLCF and going to your draft section. Again, refer to our dashboard guide on understanding where that is to resume this application. So anything that is in red is a required field. Anything that is black, it is not, but it is important for you to read through them because there could be information needed as part of your project that we don't necessarily say it's required because it's case specific. So if you have that information, please go ahead and provide that information here. So you can see in most cases, building and safety permits require planning cases. They're very seldom trade permits that don't require a planning case. You can see right here, this is a required field. Now you may ask, what's a planning case? As it expands up here, this is usually a zoning clearance number that we need. Now, I don't have a zoning clearance number, so what I can do is I can go ahead and save it as a draft. Then I can go ahead and apply for a zoning clearance. And again, rather than going to the home page, I'll show you another way you can apply. Is if you click the apply drop-down menu, the most frequently used applications will be listed here. Zoning clearance is one of them. So I can go ahead and click on zoning clearance and go ahead and finish the application for a zoning clearance. I need to add a property. So the address we were looking for was 1327 Journey's End. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to go ahead and click next. I will provide a description of the project. Here, again, it's just the contact information. I can add as many contacts as I want. Here, these are the application questions for a zoning clearance. And the answers here are no. This page, it's the items that require for me to submit as part of the documents that we needed. If you recall, I talked to you about reviewing the required field documentation that you will need for a zoning clearance or any other type on this page. Again, you have access to it. You can also look at it from this section right here. It will take you to that. Once you have the documents you need, you can go ahead and upload them by clicking on the plus sign and uploading it. It is important to note these have different categories, so you can change based on what you're uploading and go ahead and upload the documents necessary. So if this was a site plan, let's just say, we can go ahead and upload. It's also important to note that the city strongly recommends using naming convention. The naming convention allows the plan checker to quickly understand what you're uploading and what you've submitted, rather than having to individually open every single file. So please, this will assist us in doing your plan check faster, follow these guidelines for the naming convention. And once again, there's a link right here where it directs you to it. So once the document is there, I can go ahead and click next. It allows me to review the application one more time. And then once this is complete, I can go ahead and submit. Once I submit the application, it will give me a confirmation page that letting me know I've submitted the application. I can go ahead and click on continue to plan. This is where you need the number, the planning number. It's up here on top. So I can go ahead and copy this number. And if you recall, we had saved a draft permit. So if I go to my dashboard, I should have a draft permit for a deck that I can continue. This is it right here. And you can see the date I applied for. So I'm going to go ahead and resume. It will allow me to go through the steps one more time if there are any changes I need to make. So here I want to provide descriptions now and the evaluation for the project, the contact information. Here I need the planning case number, so I can go ahead and paste this in, fill out the rest of the information as they need. I am not the contractor, but I will provide this information later. So I'm going to say, no, I'm not the contractor, or I'll say contractor information to be provided later. And then it says, if you're providing this information later, go ahead and just copy and paste this information in the information below. And then again, make sure to read the acknowledgements in detail. Click next. Upload the necessary documents here like we did before. Again, there are drop-down menus where you can upload depending on the type of file. Once you have everything uploaded, click next. It will allow you to review the application one more time with an estimated fee. Again, these are estimates. It could be more, it could be less. It just depends on the project itself. So you will get an actual invoice of what you need to pay as you go through this process. So once everything is good and I'm ready, I can go ahead and press submit, and I will be able to submit this application.